multiplying matrices. Now, for scalar multiplication, each element in the matrix is multiplied by the constant. It's real simple. So if I were to do this, all I would do is take -2 times 7, -2 times 1, -2 times 0. All you do is you multiply it by everything inside, and you still get a 1 by 3, which is -14, 2, and 0. And that's it. Scalar is pretty easy. So like this one here, you take 4 times -2, 4 times 0, 4 times 4, 4 times -5. And your answer is -8, 0, 16, 20. That's it for a scalar. Now, when you actually multiply matrices with, so for example, this one is a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 2. They must match the insides. So like a 2 by 3, you get the 3's are in the inside are the same, right? And then the outer ones tell you the dimension, what your answer is going to be. Okay, and if they don't match, then it's undefined. You can't do it. All right, so here are some examples. So if I was multiplying this 2 by 2 by a 2 by 3 matrix, right? The way you actually multiply these is you have to multiply the rows by the columns. So you multiply the rows by the columns, so you do 2 times 3 right here, and then you do -1 times 5, and then you add them together, your answer, and you end up getting 1. Then you do the next one, you do 2 times -9, and you get -18, and then you do -1 times 7, which you get -7. You add the two together, you get -25. You do the same thing again. You take this, 2 times 2 is 4, -1 times -6 is +6, and you add your answers together. And that's how you actually do it. You take the rows times the columns to get your answer. So the same thing on the bottom here. You take 3 times 3, which is 9, and then 4 times 5, which is 20. You add them together, you end up getting 29 as an answer. Okay, so if I was looking at this one here, I see that it's a 2 by 3, and then this one's a 2 by 2. Well, remember that you have to add the insides together, are the same, right? Well, if I look at it, you can't do it. You got a 3 and a 2, and they don't match, so it'd actually be undefined as your answer. Okay, so if I were to do something where it's, I have to set this up, and I want to set it back up into linear equations. Okay, so remember, it's the same principle. You take the rows times the columns. So for example, like this one, it'd be 1 times x, 2 times y, and then -1 times z. And that's how you end up getting your answer, or equals 1. So that's how you set up the first one. You set up the second one, it'd be 1 times x, 3 times y, and 2 times z, and equals 7, because it would be the second one down. And then you do the same thing with the third one. Alright, so if I set this one up, I see that it's a 2 by 2 matrix, so I can multiply this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the rows by the columns. Okay, so if I multiply the rows by the columns, I look at it, and there we go. So the first one, I do 0 times 4, and then -1 times -2. So 0 times 4 is 0. -1 times -2 is +2. Add them together, you end up with 2. Now you do the next one. You put that up here, and 0 times -3 is 0. -1 times 5 is -5. You add them together, you end up getting -5. Alright, you do the bottom one. You do 1 times 4 is 4. 0 times -2. So you end up getting just 4. And then the last one, you take 1 times -3 is -3. 0 times 5 is 0. So all you end up getting for that one is -3. And so that's how you get your 2 by 2 answer for your matrix. That's it.